Moin Leute, Harald am Start. Today, I want to talk about a very serious topic, in my opinion, which is that Pokemon hates competitive Pokemon. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not gonna frame it like this in the thumbnail because I don't actually, I just like wanna talk about this without doing intensive research and stuff because, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should, but the point is I don't have the time to like edit it all into a video to convince you guys that Game Freak actually hates Pokemon and stuff because that's a really big claim. I don't obviously think they hate Pokemon. I just think they like money way more than Pokemon, and that is ruining competitive doubles. So I actually really prefer singles. I thought about this today. I was watching Swipe Gaming, my favorite YouTube channel. I do history of competitive Pokemon. Check them out if you haven't already. It's an amazing channel. Really good for boosting your creativity because you see what other people came up with already, but then you can apply it in different ways. For example, I saw a video on uh, Girafarik, and they talked about the baton pass agility called mindset. And why wouldn't it work in doubles? I might as well try it out, not right now, but at some point, I guess, I don't know. But like, why do I say these things? Obviously, because I absolutely mean it, and I think Game Freak is horrible, and I want to hate them as much as possible because they ruined my childhood favorite video games, so they're ruining my childhood. You're bad. No, obviously, I love Pokemon. But there's one huge fucking issue, not only with Game Freak, but also with the community, which is, in my opinion, just ruining competitive doubles. And singles is better. Let me explain. Let me explain. So, first, we need to go back into the history of competitive Pokemon. First, well, I wanted to like do it like the Bible, but I don't actually know the Bible. Like God made the world in like 7 days, and then in the whatever, bro. There were only singles until Generation 4, and the singles community from the first generations, obviously I don't know them because back then I was a small child and didn't even play Pokemon. I started playing in Gen 7, by the way, for anyone interested. Back then, the community must have been fucking awesome. Obviously not as awesome as you guys, cause who would be as awesome as you guys? I don't know. Cringe. Okay, enough cringe for today. Let's get serious. Serious. South Park reference, bro. Wait, I gotta watch the new South Park episodes, bro. Oh, yo, I'm so excited, bro. All right, I'm rambling, bro. Singles used to be amazing. Why? Because people were actually playing with honor, bro. Back when broken shit existed, obviously, because back when competitive didn't really exist. What do I mean by broken shit? Baton Pass, bro. You probably don't even know about Baton Pass because Baton Pass is fucking banned. Apparently, I'm not able to spell it right. Baton Pass. So, what is Baton Pass? Basically, you have a Pokemon with speed boost and with like Calm Mind or whatever. And then instead of sweeping with this Pokemon, you just baton pass to another Pokemon, like Espeon or whatever. And then you sweep, okay, amazing. And there are also other uses of baton pass, for example, if the opponent switch, you would be able to get switch initiative, similar to how you would be able to get it from U-turning or volt switching. Only baton pass obviously cannot get blocked, which is amazing. I mean, U-turn also can't, but you could take Rocky Helmet recoil and stuff like this. So you might think, damn, that's an awesome move. I love Baton Pass. But when you think about VGC in Sword and Shield times with Dynamics, like one single speed boost could change the game. So people figured out that Baton Pass is really good, real fucking quick. Not only because you can have one Pokemon Baton Passing, but you can actually um, have a whole team about Baton Pass. For example, Moody, Smeargle, Spore, and then Ingrain. So that way you cannot get whirlwinded out and you also get recovery, and then you can give it protect, substitute, baton pass, like whatever the fuck you want, and you can build your whole team around baton pass. And so that's what nobody actually did. Why did nobody do this? Well, people wanted to win with skill, and not because they use baton pass. Because in order to beat baton pass, you would have to have specific countermeasures to baton pass. I don't actually know what they look like, but I'm imagining something like what am I doing? Something like Gengar, for example. Let's say Gengar with haste would be a good, and like a focus sash. That would be a good countermeasure to baton pass. But obviously, as you guys already know, there were some adaptations. Just like with the example I'm gonna go into later, which I'm sure a lot of you can already guess what it is. Actually, a lot of you probably don't. So make sure, like, maybe try to figure out what I'm going at. So what did people do? They didn't use baton pass, bro. Nobody used baton pass because it was not an honorable strategy. And I think that's awesome. Like obviously Game Freak isn't competent enough, and well, today they still aren't, obviously, but that's another topic. Or maybe they are, but again that's another topic. But back then they obviously didn't care about competitive that much because it's not what Pokemon was all about, which now it is because it makes them money, but and again, more on that later. So they didn't fucking care. However, the player base decided, guys, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't use baton pass. I personally, I wouldn't have used baton pass because I want to win with skill and with honorable strategies that ideally I come up myself with, similar to how you see on my channel, actually exactly like this, because that's how I love to play Pokemon. Unfortunately, not everybody is like this today, but again, that's another topic. So what did people do? They just didn't use baton pass. And that's crazy. And then when Generation 4 came around, VGC came around, and obviously not correlated with it at all came a lot of fucking assholes. No, I'm exaggerating, but a lot of people that use baton pass, so baton pass had to be banned. Back then, people didn't ban baton pass because people wanted to use baton pass in an honorable way. For example, people ran Jolteon, I almost forgot the English name, with baton pass because they wanted to get Switch Initiative. People ran honorable baton passes, which nowadays isn't possible because you cannot nail down what is an honorable baton pass strategy and what not. So now, like I think 10 years after Gen 3, I don't know the exact numbers. This is what I meant at the beginning of the video. I can't, like, I don't have the time to look up 10 false swipe gaming videos right now to figure this out. So, yeah. Baton pass got finally banned because not obviously not a player base that came from VGC was ruining it, but yeah, definitely, yeah. Nowadays, with Showdown being anonymous and stuff, and the internet has pretty much just ruined it. Baton Pass is clearly broken, I think you guys all know, and this is why Baton Pass is banned in every single generation, including Generation 3. But I don't know, they definitely, yeah, they really tried to make it work, but because people didn't play honorably and they played with strategies that don't take any skill and instead rely on the opponent to over prepare for the strategy they won. So, what is the issue? Why don't I just use Haze Gengar on my team? Well, basically, in order to beat Baton Pass, you have to prepare very specifically and very much. In order to beat Baton Pass, you have to prepare very much so, and then you will lose to other strategies. So basically, it's unbalanced, it is a broken meta game, it is not fun, and it is more on who picks the right team and is more deciding than who is actually better at the game and who builds like the best all-around team, because all-around teams will just lose because they don't have prepared enough, right? So this is why Baton Pass is banned in every single generation, right? So that's not all. That is not all. Also, there is this amazing small gun community. I don't actually know a lot about of them because I just like play Showdown. I don't actually have a Showdown, sorry, a small gun account or anything. I just Just like to play some Showdown, bro. Amazing community. Look at this. Those are all meta games, except for VGC, which they came up for themselves. Which is insane to think about. Do you know how much fucking work goes into one single meta game to keep it balanced? I don't. But look at this. A huge community of dedicated, hardworking individuals is doing this just so I can have some fun and you can have some fun. And obviously, it's fun for them too. You know, it's amazing. It is absolutely fucking amazing. Look at this. We have OU. We even have random battles. We have Ubers because there are a lot of broken Pokemon in the standard tier, which is OU. And then we have even lower tiers for Pokemon like Girafarik, like Quaporat, ja moin, like Nidoqueen, because it is way too difficult to use them in OU successfully. So that is crazy. And then you can fight against Pokemon who are similarly as strong with Nidoqueen, so it's actually fair for Nidoqueen to compete, right? Same with Riolu. If you wanted to, you could use him in Little Cup, which is stupid, I think. But maybe he's bad. I don't know. He's either really good or really bad. I think he's really bad, but you know, you can definitely compete on a fair level. Same with Quaporet, ja moin, and Kalaman Ehrenmann, ihu. And Eggy, da boy, right? And Eternatus, obviously he's an Uber because he's fucking broken as all hell, you know? So, that's fucking awesome. And what does Game Freak do in order to help him out? Well, nothing, of course. And also, Game Freak is actively trying to make this difficult. Obviously, not intentionally to make this difficult on the Showdown community and the Smallgun community, but they make broken Pokemon all the fucking time, bro. All the time. Why do they make broken Pokemon? Because they wanna sell their games, obviously. Nobody is gonna buy Generation 10 Ketchup and Mayonnaise when the Ketchup and Mayonnaise Pokemon have a base set total of 500 and other cover legendaries, bro. Of course not. Obviously, everyone would buy Pokemon Gun if the cover legendary is a fucking gun that has 10 trillion speed and 5 trillion attack. Of course, everyone is gonna buy that game, you know? That's why Pokemon keep getting stronger. That's why Power Creep exists. And I mean, it makes sense if you wanna sell a game. I personally think it goes way too far. Way too far. You gotta stop Game Freak, bro. Stop it right now. Stop it. It's insane. The DLC, the paid game, like they release unfinished games and then later they have to make you pay for DLC, which is what they did in Sword and Shield. They're gonna do it in Scarlet and Violet as well. And in these paid DLCs, they added more legendaries, which is what typically they do in the main game, but now you have to pay for this. You actually have to pay if you wanna use these legendaries in competitive, which is insane, bro. You have to pay $100 just to compete, and that's not even the fucking $100 that you have, or I don't know, $50 that you have to pay to enter a tournament, and not even counting the fucking, I don't know how much people pay, but like $1,000 or whatever to actually go to the events and buy a hotel and stuff, you know? It's crazy. It is literally fucking pay to win. You have to pay this fucking money to get these legendaries and to be able to compete. Because you cannot use them if you trade them, because they require items that you cannot trade when you get in the story. Which is clearly just so you have to pay this money, right? And these pay to win Pokemon are obviously fucking broken as all hell. Obviously, there's a reason Calyrex Shadow won the World Championship. I'm not surprised, you know? And Zacian obviously is clearly fucking broken as all hell. I don't think I have to guys explain you that, you know. So what did Smogon do? Well, they banned fucking Zacian. Not from OU, but from Ubers, which is the format for broken Pokemon. The Pokemon is so fucking broken that we had to ban it from a Pokemon, which is from a format that is made for broken Pokemon. And you know what the craziest thing is? That format already existed because there already was a Pokemon like that. So now, if I wanna use Zacian, I don't go to OU, the standard format. I don't go into Ubers, the one for broke Pokemon. I go to Anything Goes. which there are no rules. I can use Zacian, and I can use another Zacian. Now you might think, oh, you don't know anything about anything goes. However, if you some of you guys may remember, there was a tournament where they pretty much had doubles anything goes, right? Which is also where you can use baton pass, by the way. And this is also where you can put multiple Pokemon to sleep. Oh wait, that is just like VGC, isn't it? Oh, only you can't use two Pokemon of the same type, but that's fine, you know. I mean, yeah. So they had a format like this, and as you guys know, I actually got to top 10 in this format rather easily with a fucking stall team, bro. An unhonorable strategy. I mean, I personally loved this stall team because stall in VGC obviously isn't very common. Well, before this generation, but yeah, but actually like was a really creative stall team, you know? You guys can check out the video to form an opinion of it yourself. Feel free to disagree, but obviously I know what I'm talking about when it comes to anything goes, especially in VGC, cause I'm used to battling broken ass bitches all the time, bro. So what does Smogon do? They say you can only spore one Pokemon at a time, otherwise it won't work. They say you cannot use Baton Pass. You know, they say you cannot use these broken Pokemon. You cannot use two broken Pokemon at once. They ban Pokemon. They make all this hard work to make Pokemon fun, and Game Freak just doesn't do it. Because why would they do this when they can just not do it? People will still play it. And what happens? What happens? Who won the last regionals? Someone who used fucking Power Song. Now, I haven't followed the regional at all. I don't even know if that's true, but I just saw it in YouTube thumbnail and I'm too lazy to look it up myself because I care this little about this fucking format. Why is this? Why do I care this little about VGC Series 2? We have Power Song, so let's say we have Screamtail, which is one unhonorable strategy. Why? I will go into this later. Next up, we have Dondozo Tatsugibi. Another unhonorable strategy, again, I will go into this later. And then we still have broken ass Pokemon. Let's just say Flutter Mane as an example. Broken ass Pokemon. So those are the three issues that I have with VGC Series 2. Power Song. What is Power Song? Basically, use Power Song, which means all active Pokemon will faint in 3 turns. And obviously, when the opponent use it, they can focus on certain things. For example, they can trap you with Gothitelle. You cannot switch out, and when they will switch out of a Power Song, I'm sure most of you guys know this, but I'm explaining this for people who maybe don't know this. Also, if you have any questions, let me know. I found out that I'm actually pretty bad at explaining explaining things that I know a lot about. I think it's different with Pokemon, but yeah, feel free to help me out so you can understand it and I can become a better explainer. But basically, well, they switch out and you cannot switch out, so all of your Pokemon faint, and then they just sorry, two of your four Pokemon faint, and then you only have two Pokemon left, so we use Power Song again, and then they win because your Pokemon faint in the next 3 turns, and you cannot knock out their remaining Pokemon in the time limit because they just protect twice, you know? Now you might think, oh, that's really cool. You have to be really smart to in order to pull this off. However, Power Song is around for I don't know how long, how many years, you know. And in this format, you have to specifically be prepared for Power Song in order to beat this. In Sword and Shield, I used a lot of Power Song. Actually, not a lot, but I used Power Song because I didn't want to lose the Power Song, and I found out a lot of fucking ways to beat it. For example, U-turn and parting shot, literally the two most common fucking moves in the format, after Fake Out, which is also good into Power Song teams, really good. Or obviously on the two most popular Pokemon, which are paired with the most broken Pokemon ever, obviously Zacian, which can just knock out the Power Song user. So Power Song was bad because people things that beat Power Song were already common. However, in this format, you have to go out of your way in order to counter Perish Song, for example, by using a throat chop Pokemon, by using an inner focus Bishop of Taunt, which completely shuts down Perish Song, by the way. You have to do stuff like this in order to beat Person. So we have a baton pass syndrome, which is what I'm gonna call this. You have to over prepare in order to not lose this, and if you over prepare in order to not lose to Parasong, you will lose to other things. Obviously, Bishop isn't as bulky as an Assault Vest King Gambit, no doubt about this. But you have to use the Bishop instead of a King Gambit in order to win against Parasong, and when you lose, will lose because your bishop isn't as bulky as a king gambit, so you will lose to other things. So you have to decide. You have to pick your poison. Dondozo Tatsugiri. Luckily, not as common as in Series 1. In Series 1, it was on high ladder on one third of the teams. And why was it only on high ladder? Because you don't need any skill to get on the high ladder if you use Dondozo Tatsugiri. Right? Oh yeah, also I want to make this clear right now. Obviously, if everyone uses Dondozo Tatsugiri and everyone uses Parasong, the only people who are actually gonna win tournaments with it are people who are actually incredibly skilled on top of using Parasong and Dondozo Tatsugiri. Which obviously I don't want to disrespect this, that is amazing. However, there are always two sides to the coin, right? There are always two sides to the coin. Obviously, you have to use some skill, but if you like, it's not as difficult to win a tournament if you beat half of the players just because you're using Power Song because they don't prepare for it, you know. Obviously, if you win a tournament without it, you need way more skill than you would need with it. But it's different skill sets that are required, you know. I just wanna make it clear, but I don't wanna be disrespectful to the person who won, right? But with Dondozo Tatsugiri, basically, if Dondozo and Tatsugiri are on the field at the same time, Dondozo eats the Tatsugiri and swallows it up, but when Tatsugiri takes control over Dondozo, so it gets a double stat boost, which is insane because when you have a 2 versus 1, the Dondozo is gonna be the 1 Pokemon and I, in this case, will have a 2 Pokemon. However, Dondozo is gonna be so fucking broken that it's a good matchup for the 1 Pokemon, right? Obviously, there are ways around this, which people use. For example, they bring their own Tatsugiri to 1 HP, so when it will faint, while it is swallowed by the Dondozo, which means you get a free switch in. So we have a 2 versus 2, with the one Pokemon being so broken that it could beat the 2 opposing Pokemon on its own. So obviously that's fucking broken as hell. And you had 2 specific countermeasurements to Dondozo in order to beat it. Many people use stuff like Spore, like Clear Smog, stuff like this. However, Dondozo started to adapt, similar to Baton Pass, which is why Baton Pass is banned. And well, Dondozo Tatsugiri isn't banned because Game Freak, but dude, because Game Freak I should put this on a fucking t-shirt, bro, honestly. This is so fucking ridiculous. And just in my head I had like 5,000 different examples on where you could say because Game Freak, bro. Oh my god, that's insane. That's gonna be my new catchphrase. I hope not. It's kind of cringe, but like, yeah, it's literally it's so accurate, bro. I'm sorry. Enough self love for today. Now I can go to hating myself again for the rest of the month. Where was I? Oh yeah. So you have to put specific countermeasures against Dondozo Tatsugiri. One thing that I really like to do is Quillfish. I re wait, I don't even know how to spell this fucking one. It's QW. Quillfish. So why Quillfish? Well, you get Taunt, which allows you to stop Perish Song, and then you are also a Ghost type. So you are gonna be able to turn into a Ghost type to avoid Fake Out, and then you can taunt a Perish Song user. Again, I got to 1960 on Pokemon Showdown with a fucking Quillfish, yes. And the rest of the team was. It wasn't as creative. After I used the team, many people started to pick up on the Pokemon that were also on the team, but that's a whole nother topic. I should make a whole video about this as well, but well, again, that's a whole nother topic. So I have Taunt to shut down Perish Trap, and then I have Haze to shut down Dondozo Tatsugiri. This is what you have to do if you wanna be successful in a format like this. You have to do shit like this. Obviously, okay, you don't have to, but I have to do this. No, I don't have to do it, but I want to do it because I don't want to use the last option, which is just use broken Pokemon yourself, right? And this, you might think, damn, Killfit is such a bad Pokemon. Oh, also, if you wanna make it work in Series 2, be my guest, bro, because with Swiftstream you're actually gonna be able to be faster than Screamtail, but the best quality of this guy is that it's really fast. Back then you didn't need Swiftstream to be active because you were just able to taunt Pokemon like Azumarill, which are slow, which used Perish Trap back then. And then also you can use Amoonguss with your generator to heal up the Quillfish. So that was amazing. Obviously, most of you guys will have seen my video where I used it, right? Nah, don't want to put any pressure on you, but I personally would recommend you checking them out, even if I didn't make the videos, even if I didn't profit from it myself by you watching the videos. I mean, truth be told, I don't really care if you watch it right now because like I probably won't notice, but right. However, Qwilfish actually wasn't a bad Pokemon because one were the best Pokemon in the format. The two most Pokemon, last time I checked, were Meowscarada, I forgot the name for a second, and Sylveon, which Qwilfish has a really good matchup against because obviously it can one-shot Meowscarada if you actually give it a Poison Barb, which funnily enough I did do. Yes, I used Poison Barb Qwilfish to get to 1960 on the official format on Pokemon Showdown, which is VGC. Yes, it is. You can subscribe now. You can like the video now. But yeah, this is what I did. This is why I really liked Quillfish. It took me a while to figure out how to actually use Quillfish because you still have to play well in order to win with Killfish. It's not an instant win. You have to play well. It is an instant win. Again, check out my videos. My first Killfish video was like, damn, Killfish sucks. And then in my head, for this entire video, I was like, damn, I hope I can make a video. I was talking about Killfish. I hope I can make a video. And then I got to 1900s and I was like, yo, I was talking about Killfish, but this one is actually busted, bro. So, yeah. So with skill and creative team building, you can beat strategies like this, right? So let's say I win a tournament with Quillfish. Everybody is gonna use Quillfish, and then it won't work anymore. Because then people will start to prepare to counter Quillfish, because obviously you can't use strategies like this if you wanna use Quillfish, right? So yeah. Now my only weapon will be used against me. So yeah, this is what I explained in my. If you want a more deep explanation on this is why you should watch my video. Why you should not use antimatter. Well, and now the last thing is fucking Pokemon, Fluttermane, Chiyu, Chien-Pao, those aren't released yet, but they are also broken as hell. Iron Bundle, bro, Iron Bundle is so fucking broken, bro, it's ridiculous. It is literally with a booster energy faster than Regieleki. So also strong as hell, bro, one of the strongest Pokemon in the game. But oh, it's frail. So if you can take a hit, you can knock it out. Oh, but what do people do? They want fucking Focus Sash, Icy Wind. Bro, imagine Regieleki got Freeze Dry. Oh wait, a Pokemon faster than Regieleki with two offensive types got Freeze Dry and also Ice Wind, which is the equivalent of Electrowave. I don't think I need to explain uh, why I'm not a fan of this, but let's actually keep Iron Bundle as this is literally the reason why I stopped playing this format. You have to use either Pokemon that outspeed Iron Bundle that can knock it out, which when the game is gonna be very positional based, basically luck based. Like a lot of people say positioning is like this really skillful thing and blah blah. But if you wanna use position with hyper offense, obviously there's a lot of skill involved too, but there's more luck involved than people wanna admit. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This is coming from me. I used to do Daddy. They're a very, very positional based team. There's more luck involved than you guys think. But another topic. So why do we do this? Because they wanna make money, bro. That's why Game Freak does this. They are making a bad game because it makes them more money. Obviously, they made Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield bad games by putting not a lot of effort and money into developing these games because they know they will sell anyways. Scarlet and Violet, the lowest rated Pokemon games ever, are the highest selling Pokemon games in the first week ever. What are you doing? Don't buy these fucking games, you fucking fools! Don't be as stupid as me! I gotta shout out my man Randstreifenhacker, who didn't buy the games yet because they just suck. He's thinking about buying them when the performance issues get fixed in the February update, if they get fixed, which I hope they will, obviously. I kinda hope it. Like, I really want him to play these games because I love his team building, I love the man, of course. I would love to be inspired by him and obviously play Pokemon with him. I would love him to buy these games. But it hurts me. It hurts my soul. Obviously, that he didn't buy them, but it also hurts my soul that he's going to buy them, you know? Because these games suck, you shouldn't buy them! Fuck, bro! I'm so mad. Oh, but it's fine, bro, it's fine. These games, man, Game Freak is just fucking us, bro. It's insane. They are using us. They are literally, this is literally fraud. I don't understand why Game Freak isn't sued yet. They sell an unfinished game which doesn't hold up to the standards that a Pokemon game should have, bro. Imagine I sell you like a fucking McDonald's burger and inside is a fucking half-eaten Burger King burger, bro. That's a fucking Pokemon game, bro. It's insane. It's insane. Don't buy Burger King or McDonald's, bro. This is the last thing that I would sell you. It's even worse than buying Pokemon games, way worse. But that's another topic. I don't think any of you guys cares about that stuff as much as about Pokemon, bro. And now they like make worse as Pokemon games. So you might think, okay, why don't they just fucking make rules for the Pokemon games? Because they are incompetent. And again, it is insanely fucking difficult to make a balanced format. Which is why Smorgasbord has these amazing people and these high numbers of people that do it for free. They do it for fucking free. Those are literally Game Freak's fucking slaves that work for Game Freak for free to advertise their fucking games. This is literally Smorgasbord in a nutshell, bro. Fucking Game Freak's slaves. I have the highest respect for Game Freak slave. I am also a slave for Game Freak by making this video. I'm literally advertising Game Freak games, bro. However, obviously not to a amount of level these guys do, which is amazing. Bro, I have the highest respect. I wish I would become a Game Freak slave at some point, you know? Maybe at some point I will become a big Game Freak slave, you know? Amazing, you know? So Game Freak is clearly incompetent, too incompetent to make balanced meta games. They change the rules all the time, so it wouldn't be a shame to make rules with a fucking not broken ass format, you know? Last time that they tried to balance a format was the literally most unpopular meta game ever. Back then, I don't remember which one it was, Series 6, I think. I didn't really play back then. Actually, this was when I was really, really new to the game. I remember I used a team with Decidueye, literally my favorite starter Pokemon. It was actually like my full out shiny Decidueye that I soft resetted for back in Sun and Moon days, which is the longest time that you could like literally one of the most difficult shiny Pokemon to hunt. So I use it in this format because, well, why did I do it? I also used Duck Trio and Terrakium, which was really fire. I remember I battled against the top 30 opponent and I was super fucking excited, but when I lost because I missed two rock slides and I but it's another topic. So this format was the most unpopular format ever. Why was it? Because they didn't actually balance it, bro. They just tried to balance it once and then they failed and they said never again. It was an unbalanced format as fuck. The most popular Pokemon was Primarina, so I literally had a Decidueye and a Vileplume on my team, which is a hard counter to Primarina. I think the last Pokemon was Ninetales. Bro, I have been making fire teams ever since I can talk, bro. Talk the language of fucking competitive Pokemon, bro. But, bro, I had two counters Primarina. And you know what I remember about this format? Outside, the only memories of this format outside of the guy who I lost to was literally me losing to Primarina all the time. Even though I had two counters specifically to counter Primarina. So obviously Game Freak is incompetent, but they are also not even trying. Why is this? Because they make more money making broken Pokemon, as I already explained. So guys, this is why I prefer singles. Also, you might be thinking, why do I play doubles? It is because it is more difficult to use creative Pokemon like Wood Daddy. For more info, check out any of my videos. So yeah, hope you guys do. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys were able to understand what I was talking about. If not, feel free to comment. Feel free to disagree. I would love people to disagree because maybe there's something I'm missing. However, I think it's safe to say I know what I'm talking about. Obviously, I don't know a lot about business, but when it comes to having fun in competitive Pokemon, maybe ask the guy who got to rank 1 with Wood Daddy, you know, what he's thinking. But hey, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this half an hour rant, bro. That's actually crazy. Haut rein. Ciao.